Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer Sikora. I am a longtime B2B marketer in the tech space, and I've been working with a lot of AI companies lately as part of the 24 and Up Startup Studio. And one of those companies is Wayfound, which is an amazing company focused on guardian agent technology, agent supervision. And today I have their CEO and co-founder, Tatyana Mamut. Welcome,
Nice.
Tatyana.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're going to be talking more about guardian agents, especially since this is now a category that Gartner has come out with as in their 2026 market report. And a big question on a lot of people's minds is, well, can't I just build this myself, right? Why do I need an outside vendor? So the build versus buy, classic debate. So I guess give me a quick statement on your point is, as you hear people saying like, oh, well, we're building everything now with AI coding help and we can just build things. What's your immediate reaction when you hear that as it relates to guardian agents and agent supervision?
Yeah. So the first thing is that, LLM as a judge technology has been a big buzzword in the engineering community for over a year. And I think most people conflate guardian agents with LLM as a judge. And a guardian agent or a true supervisor agent is much, much more than an LLM as a judge or a verifier agent that is within the workflow of a particular orchestration. A true supervisory agent platform has many different components. It has a component which is doing a lot of pre-processing to build up the memory and the context for the supervisor to be really able to know what good looks like in the context of a particular company. Then it also needs a whole bunch of, components to understand multi-agent systems and to correctly analyze chain of thought reasoning against all of that.
Yeah.
And then we also see model drift. So we also have to be understand, how the supervisor analyzes how the agents are running and functioning across every company. So the maintenance is actually really non-trivial and very, very costly over time, which is why you want a specialized guardian agent or supervisory agent platform, as opposed to having developers build, LLM as a judge calls in the process of agents working, which is fine to do. It just doesn't obviate the need for an actual supervisory platform.
That's a good point. And I did a little prep before we talked. I'm looking over here at my notes. I spoke with Wayfound's engineering team and I asked, like, well, what would it take to reach parity with a vendor like Wayfound? And they gave me some estimates. They said it could take anywhere from 18 to even 30 or more months of engineering time just to have what Wayfound has today. And
Right.
Wayfound continues to build and
Right.
grow, right? It's not sitting still. And it means building 20 distinct subsystems to do that expert supervision job, kind of what you were just alluding to. And then obviously, as they also noted, the budget and the long-term ownership pain and the resourcing. So when you think about the criteria of what you would recommend somebody looks for in a successful guardian agent solution, if they are going to buy, how do you, what criteria would you suggest that they put on their short list?
Yeah. Well, Jen, since you mentioned Gartner, I will just say that Gartner does call out that independent AI agent supervision that is not actually living within within the framework or the platform of the agent runtime is critically necessary, and it's going to be more and more necessary as time goes by.
That's fair.
Partly this is because what we see is insurance companies are looking for that independent supervision as well. I'm talking to board members that are assessing risk, especially, financial risk, like ending up in court, right, for being negligent, for not supervising their agents or not having a separate, fully independent agent platform. So there is that piece of it. The one piece of
Interesting.
it as
Yeah.
well is the regulatory piece and the risk piece to actually having the agent supervision run inside the agent runtime or in the same framework or platform that the AI agents are built in. The other piece is that you want to have not just single LLM as a judge calls, you want the evaluations to be robust for that supervisory agent to have memory and to understand and constantly be learning itself as to what good looks like in the company. You also want to make sure that it works with multi-agent systems, so that it's not just because sometimes a particular agent will do something just fine, but in the process of handing off or communicating with other agents, the systems go off the rails, right? So you want to make sure that a supervisor is working in multi-agent systems. And then you also want to make sure that there's a feedback loop directly into the agent improvement process. So that make sure that there's an MCP server that connects directly with wherever you're building and improving your agent. So whether it's in Cursor or Codex or Claude Code or wherever you're building your agent, that improvement loop is there. Because again, companies can be found negligent if they are just getting the alerts that the agents are going off the rails and they don't actually do anything with that information very quickly. If they're still relying on humans to analyze that data, pull the logs and traces, there's way too much time. And that's a very slow process. And a lot of humans can be affected by poor agent outputs in that time. So you want to make sure that those improvement loops are happening really, really quickly through your AI supervisor.
Great. Those are great criteria guidelines as people are looking for solutions, of which Wayfound is certainly one, and I would argue a leader, or if not the leader. You referenced time, but time is another aspect of buying versus building, right? Somebody could be starting today with Wayfound or a vendor like yourself as a supervisor rather than waiting to develop all this robust supervision technology, as you said, may not even reach parity anyway.
Yeah, I mean, most companies don't have an entire team of high-level AI engineers available to rebuild an AI agent supervisor, right? You want your AI engineers building the AI experiences that are going to have the most impact to your customers to differentiate your business and grow immediately. That's where you want your AI engineers. You do not want your AI engineers rebuilding the process to supervise AI agents when you can purchase it, have a SOC 2 Type 2 compliant platform in market today. So that's what Wayfound also gives our customers, is really the speed to market and the speed to deploy AI agents. And in fact, customers who use Wayfound tend to be able to deploy new AI agents 3 times faster than before they had Wayfound, because they're not doing the manual, supervision. They're not having to pull logs and traces manually, analyze them manually, improve them manually. All of that is sped up dramatically.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Tatyana, for going through the build versus buy debate on Guardian agents. I guess the takeaway is leave the supervising to us, right?
That's right.
To reuse someone else's marketing slogan. Thank you, Tatyana, for the talk.
Thanks, Jen.